Garden Style. So today I have a fabulous new project for all of you to try, especially being it's the middle of summer and it's very, very hot. So we've got some fantastic looking succulents that I'm getting ready to show you and a really neat project on what you can do with them. So let's get started. Okay, so here I have what we would call a succulent ball. And I started it with just a few cuttings in here. And what this is actually a moss ball that I filled with cactus soil on the inside. Now the cactus soil has very good drainage in it. It's filled with gravel as well as sand and some composted materials, which is really important when you're building one of these. So what I do to water this later on, once I have it all filled in with all the little succulent cuttings, is I'll actually take this off its hook and dump it into a big bowl of water, and I'll let it soak for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I hang it back up. And you only need to do this once, maybe twice a month. That's how easily these will contain the water on the insides. So as for the succulent cuttings, I actually already had plants, existing plants, that I cut these from. And the best thing to do is to cut them to where you have a small little stem on the outside, and that way you're able to poke them into this moss pot, bowl, whatever you want to call it. So in this case, I had my own plants, but you can also order in succulent cuttings, and one of your best sources for that would be succulentsource.com, and I'll put that in the description box below this video so that you know where you can also get the hanging moss ball as well as the succulent cuttings. Otherwise, you can take these little guys off of existing plants you already have. What I suggest you do is let them harden over for a couple of days. They actually take better if you let the stems just dry in the air for a couple of days, and then you can plant them into the holes. So here's how I go about doing this. I actually take a screwdriver, believe it or not, and I will take this and I will actually poke a hole in the top like that, and you insert one of these little succulents into the hole. And for these, it's fairly easy to get them in there. However, if you have issues getting them to stay, I highly recommend little florist pins, and they're just like, they look like a really big staple, and you can take those and actually pin them into the succulent ball like this until they get a chance to get their roots in, just like that, and that will help hold them into place. So what I'm going to do is put this in super fast motion rather than making you stay here and watch me build a succulent ball, and I'll show you the results in the end. So here we go. Alright you guys, so here is the finished product. These are a lot of fun to put together. This took me maybe a half an hour to get everything all poked in here. There are quite a few pins in a lot of the succulents. which will just automatically disappear once they start to grow out. You're not even going to see them. So just give it a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, and you'll just notice that suddenly they just magically start to fill out. Now I put a little twist on this succulent ball, something you probably haven't seen before. One of them being, I actually put a tea light in the top of it, so it serves a couple purposes. It looks really pretty during the day, and it serves a purpose at night as a neat little candle holder. I also put in some longer sedums here in the bottom. Here you have your golden sedum, and I also have one that's in kind of a blue-green. And these will grow longer down here and actually trail at the bottom of the ball. So it just makes it fun, something that's really easy to put together during the summer when it's so hot out. I highly recommend that you don't try to plant flowers or any kind of delicate plants during this time of the year, but succulents, they can take the heat. Now, a couple ideas for you on how to take care of this. First of all, they require super good drainage, so really important that you put in some sort of a cactus mix inside of the ball before you put everything in. It has to drain really well. And then every couple of weeks, just test it, and if it feels like it's dry, go ahead and take it off the hook. You can dip it into a bucket of water for about 5 to 10 minutes, pull it out, and hang it back up. Easy peasy, and it will drain and actually dry all on its own. I also recommend that you don't put these in direct light. If they're in direct sunlight, they may burn or dry out faster than you think. I like to have these in kind of morning sun with afternoon shade, and then they just flourish. They'll do really well. What else can I tell you about these guys? Besides the fact that it took me maybe a half an hour to put this together, it's really super easy to do. Now, you can bring these in the winter time. Just make sure to put them in a really sunny window. And in the spring, put them in the garage for about 2 or 3 days, let them harden off, get used to the cooler temperatures, and then you can hang it back outside in the spring and enjoy them throughout the summer. You may find later, as these start to grow out and get longer, just take a pair of scissors and you can actually clip them, take more cuttings, and you can build another one if you want to. But I have a whole bunch of ideas as to what you guys can do with succulents, and this is just one really creative idea that you can do right now. It's really inexpensive. I found this ball, the actual moss ball itself, on Amazon, and I'll have all that information for you in the description box down below. Alright, you guys, another fun project here at Garden Style. Of course, if you have any questions, you can get a hold of me at GardnStyleNW.com on my website, or you can email me at GardnStyleNwest@gmail.com. And I would love to hear your comments. Just inspires me to inspire you and come up with some more projects for you. Alright, you guys, hope you're having a fabulous July, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.